It's the Andy and Dave Daily right here on the Muskegon channel. I am Andy O'Reilly. Dave Cackley is over yonder. He's loosening up the ties, getting ready to go. Is it Wednesday?
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Okay. We've got all our grandkids in from everywhere, and
Right.
today is picture day.
Wait, with this where you got to take a family photo
Yeah.
for the summer? Where are you gonna do that at the summer cottage?
At the cottage, yes.
Or are you gonna do it at your humble abode?
No, we'll be up at the cottage. Yeah, watching.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's always a big deal when you bring up the cottage, but you know we'll be sitting there getting pictures taken, watching the squirrels running in and out of the basement. Yeah,
Of course. It's rustic.
yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'd call it rustic. I like it. I think it's nice. Yeah, nice little lake there.
It is nice. It's
kind
fun.
of away from everything.
Get close enough to get where you need
bearings.
to be.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I keep waiting for?
What?
I keep waiting and hoping, and I think it'll help. I think it'll be what sets me apart.
Mm-hmm.
I keep waiting for the Twin Lake Bear to show up. Some night, I'll just be sitting there relaxing with my thoughts, and the Twin Lake Bear will just show up in the yard, and I will take it upon myself to run him off.
Of course you would.
That's what I do.
Well, yeah.
Once I do that, I rid the community of bears.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
and there you go. There's your
Hero.
platform. No more bears.
That's it.
That's your yeah.
You were all worried about bears. Got
Yes.
you covered. Nothing to worry about.
So you had a big evening, a little debate discussion.
It was Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay earlier this week. Primary opponent. We haven't really talked about that much on the podcast.
Well, I
but
mean, that's not what this is for. I'm not. This isn't a campaign platform. But if you have questions, go ahead.
I understand that, but my question is, it's not so much about the issues where you guys may agree, where you may differ, anything like that. How are your feelings toward the whole process of, the whole political process at the local level, at the state level that you're experiencing now? What do you like? What do you not like? Give us some inside baseball.
I will say this: it is nothing what I expected it to be.
Okay.
And that's where I'll leave it at this point.
Okay.
There's
No
been good and
comment?
bad. There really has, and I think anybody that gets into this that would tell you different is probably lying to you.
Yeah.
There have been some. Overall, the emotional roller coaster has been. There's no words for it. One day you feel like you're on top of the world, the next day you feel like you're sleeping in a dumpster. It's just that up and down. So, good and bad. Overall, I think, to me, it feels like here's what we can understand, you and I.
Mm-hmm.
It feels about like 2 days before a radio ratings book comes out.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it going to be? What are our numbers? How are the numbers looking? What do we think the numbers are going to be?
Yep. Or when they just started rolling off the printer, and you're starting to watch, and you're like, okay, what's it going to be? Hey, August 7th is coming up. We'll see. I have high hopes. I've got my fingers crossed. I've campaigned the way I wanted to campaign.
Yeah.
I was not going to pick people's pockets. I was not going to have my foot shoved in their door, demanding them stand there and listen to me on their porch. I used the assets we had to get the word out, and we'll see August 7th.
Okay.
So hey.
I'm just because I've been thinking about you because I've been watching season 5 of House of Cards, which is essentially the end of Kevin Spacey's career, although that wasn't known when this was when that season of the show was being produced, and they're going to have a final season coming up. And what I'd heard about this show that's a little disturbing is how close it is to reality. Because anybody who's watched this, and I'm 5 seasons in now, I've been binge watching, and it is stomach turning, stomach churning, head scratching, it's incredible entertainment. It's phenomenal. It's well written, it's well cast, it's well acted. But the fact that those in the know will say this is closer to what politics is on that level,
Right.
then anybody in America would want to know that it's if that is true, it confirms a lot of what I've always believed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
why I try not to take it too seriously, because if you do, it'll drive you insane, because there are some not really the best people for the most part, and I'm using you as an exception because you're one of the good ones who's trying, regardless how you feel about your views or what side of the aisle you may. I know you're going into it for the right reasons. I know you've got at this point a pristine track record.
Yeah.
But man, when you see some of these people who've been in it for a while and what they will do to hold on to power and what they will do to advance their careers, it is you're making deals with the devil, literally.
I have never, and you've known me long enough. How long have we known each other?
Oh God, we're well over a decade.
Have you ever known me to be one chasing power?
Absolutely. Oh God, in fact, the exact opposite.
That's it. I believe in giving power to others, and I think that's where strength comes from. Yeah, I really do. And that's just part of who I am. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the earliest decisions I made in the whole campaign. Was this is not about me or a title or a power, a run for power or any of that kind of stuff. It's not, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be to anybody, ever.
Right.
It should be about being a catalyst to help things happen for other people, and I believe that. I really do.
All right, very good. Well, best of luck coming up over the next couple of weeks, and
thank you.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
All right, let's get into it. President Trump now says he misspoke during
of course.
the summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin in reference to his remarks regarding Russian interference in the 2016 election. Trump claims he mistakenly used the word would instead of wouldn't. The sentence should have been, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be Russia that interfered in the election. So, I mean, there you have. I mean, here's part of the problem. When you're Trump and you're playing the Trump character and you occasionally, well, not a little more than occasionally just speak without thinking.
Yep.
And you're not careful with your words. This is what happens, and this is what you can't do on the world stage. It's one thing to do that during a campaign. It's one thing to do that during press conferences here at home. But when you're on the world stage like that, you do have to be more careful. You do have to be more cautious. And that's one of the problems, not just with Trump, but also with the media coverage involving Trump. Is here's a situation where Trump does something stupid, okay, on a world stage that can have serious implications, and the media treats it like they treat everything else, which is like a 3-alarm fire.
Right.
And it's because they treated those other situations like that, which is like anything involving Trump. This one doesn't really get the attention I think it probably deserves from those who might have previously been inclined to listen to your traditional media sources.
Right.
And this is where the media screws themselves. I say media, I mean your traditional forms of media, not what you and I do. Because quite honestly, I think what you and I do is better. I think it's of a higher caliber. I think it's we understand, we know what we don't know, and I'm very upfront about my views and my biases, whatever they may be. And what
we both are.
Yes. Absolutely. And you're getting that. And we're not trying to spin anything one way or the other. It's how we actually feel and actually believe about these things. And I've said this before, I'm not carrying the water for Trump at all. What he did in Moscow was, good Lord, that was atrocious. But at the same time, yes.
You weren't in Moscow. They were in Moscow.
Or not in Helsinki. Very good. Hey, look at you paying attention. Maybe I did that on purpose.
See?
Yeah. Anyway, you can't.
Thank you, Dave Rather.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I'm a little more accurate than Dan. Let's be honest. I don't have an axe to grind against any former presidents. Anyway, moving on. Scarlett Johannsen is pulled out of a movie where she was set to play a transgender man. After criticism from many in the transgender community, the actress has withdrawn from Rub and Tug The film centered around the true story of a transgender owner of a massage parlor, and this was just this is stupid.
Yeah.
This is stupid. You can't play a transgender person because you're not transgender.
I don't know.
Okay, that's asinine.
Yep.
How
The paycheck probably wasn't all that good.
I bet you the paycheck could have been really good. It's a situation where Scarlett Johansson's on your side. If you're in the transgender community, Scarlett Johansson's on your side. She's trying to help you. She's trying to make a movie
I agree.
that showcases some of the issues you may have, or some.
But what I'm saying is that this clearly she wasn't gonna make Forrest Gump money off this thing. So,
I don't think that's why she didn't get it. I don't think that's why she left. I think she left.
I think it just was one of those deals where she was like, this just isn't worth the guff, and
right. I would say that's yeah. That I think there's. But if
she had enough to buy a 747 in as a paycheck, she might have stuck it out. You know
what? I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you there. But
all right, there you go.
Situation where if you're shooting yourselves in the foot, you're trying to get your message out there, but you don't like who's going to be presenting the message, even though she's on your side. That's stupid. Well, that is so unbelievably dumb, and it's too bad. I would like to have seen her as a dude.
I'm sure you would have.
Interesting. Finally, Rebel Road gets underway in Muskegon this evening. Thousands of motorcycles, vendors, and music take over Western Avenue. It all starts at 6 p.m. and 100%. This is what I love about this. 100% of proceeds benefit victims of child abuse. So
there you go.
Very, very cool.
A lot of fun.
I know you're involved with this every year.
Actually, it's been a couple of years. I haven't had a whole lot to do with it.
Right, that's surprising. When I think of this event, maybe it's because you and I were involved with it for I think a couple of different years.
Yeah. Well, you get busy and things, and dynamics change and everything else. So, that's what it is.
Well, anyway, very cool event.
Yep.
Sports, the All-Star game last night, the American League downs the National League 8-6 in what basically became a slow-pitch softball game. 10 home runs hit. AL wins in 10 innings. And that's sports.
All right, man. Have yourself a great Wednesday.
See ya.